Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Tensei Shitara and Deshita, or as I like to call it, the Sword Isekai, or alternatively, Adventures of the Spell Sword Loli. We have a Shield Loli in the one anime with the Shield Loli, and now we also have a Spell Sword one. And we also, of course, have plenty of mages, because every season, for the past few seasons at least, seem to have some sort of an anime with a lowly mage figures. In any case, we're watching what we're watching. In the previous episode, we arrived at the city. Very interesting city, meaning that it's not the circle with the castle and the river going through, like it's usually the case for isekais. It actually does seem unique, fairly. We got into the Adventurers Guild, trying to become adventurers, and of course, our main heroine did succeed at becoming an adventurer, because with the help of Shishou, it would be hard not to when he's sharing all those skills and is a very powerful sentient weapon, right? So we beat Don Dorandon, something like that was his name, and she did become an adventurer. Not everybody liked that, of course. There was a group of very interesting looking ruffians, of course, trying to get her money, the money she earned from selling the monster corpses and other loot. Didn't end well for them, did it? One of them had to surrender his ankles, the rest was beaten unconscious, and thus our adventure continues from that point on. Two more things, actually. One thing is that the Adventure Guild lady is an interesting character, for sure. We have kind of a duality of Shield Lady character in her. Usually, Shield Lady, Guild Lady. Usually, the Guild Ladies are either super sweet and super cute, or they're like super hard on everybody. Or sometimes a combination of both, but in this case we have a bit of a, not split personality, but we have the outward mask and the inner thoughts of everybody should just fuck off and die in a ditch. I like that. And one thing that happened at the end of the episode was a blacksmith with some god eye or whatever it was called figured out that Shishou is a sentient weapon, something that not even the guild master was able to figure out with his appraisal skill. So that's gonna be interesting. The dwarven blacksmith was kind of sort of portrayed in a villainish light, but let's face it, he's not a villain. He's just a blacksmith curious about a very unique, very particular weapon, as blacksmiths are wont to do. That about sums it up. In today's episode, I think we're going to meet the blacksmith, and shenanigans are going to ensue, I'm assuming. Also, one more thing regarding the previous episode. I was surprised, very much so, at cutting the ankles and the blood, and that was interesting, that was cool. And the other anime this season that also surprised me with its goriness was the Novice Alchemist, the Alchemist anime. Also very gory, and I wouldn't have assumed it would be that way. So I'm glad, I'm happy. Anime keeps surprising me, and aren't we all watching it for those little surprises, right? Okay, in any case, you're gonna need your subs. Of course, I'm gonna need my sound and a cable to hear what's going on. And I'm also gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, thrown links in the description. Or if you don't want to spend any money, share my content, spread the word, leave a like, comment, subscribe. All of those things help grow a channel. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 3 of Tensei Shitara Deshita. Am I saying it correctly? Yeah, Tensei Shitara Deshita in 3, 2, 1, go. Right, we're looking for armor. Those are interesting creatures. Is it still alive? Of course it is. It's probably a delicacy or something. Also, interesting headwear. Here's a blacksmith. Okay, so gamification is something actually in world. Everybody can use that. There's like status screens and whatnot. Also, I'm drinking a interesting tea. My mom got it actually for like Teacher's Day or whatever. It's like black tea with some flower petals. I mean, yeah, you're unique. You're interesting. Exactly, you're worthy of his gear. That can't be a great business model. How much does it cost, though? Okay, so we're overpowered already. Okay, that's where we're headed next, I'm assuming. To a dungeon. To level up, get strong, get some loot. I mean, yeah, but nothing else has this many skills. Intelligence weapon. The red eye, the pink eye. Okay, opening time. I almost started thinking that we're not gonna get one. Not even almost. I did start thinking we're not gonna get one. Not getting any subtitles, are we? Right, the Goblin. Another thing that happened in the previous episode, we got a couple of scenes of the Goblin like getting into the cave and growing into like Hobgoblin or something of that sort. Right. Almost forgot. The grizzled old blacksmith. I got special eyes. My brand. Yeah, I mean, blacksmith gotta do what the blacksmith gotta do. Garus. Garus Vakarian? Special eyes? Damn. Is it Mass Effect? Yeah. Mana conductivity makes it so that you can use a sword as a wand, essentially. Yeah, you can charge it up with mana, with fire magic and whatnot. So every one mana poured into it. Okay, gotcha. It works exactly as I thought it does. Yeah, 1600 over, actually. Yeah. Yeah, he just appeared in the world. A godsmith. Okay. Probably even more, honestly. Or maybe not. Yeah, scabbard will be useful. And the hammer is heavy because Shishou has like weight reduction and gives her strength and whatnot. Okay, so we're getting better armor. Okay, so an upgrade for the future. Yeah, we have an upgrade path. So you go adventuring, come back when you're stronger, and I'm gonna have a better set of armor for you. Exactly. I like it. Is it actually gonna be a series where the main character gets, like, visual upgrades? Going commando? And she's a seamstress? She's a seamstress. Yeah. I mean, black hair and whatnot does call for black lingerie. Yeah, she's gonna need some everyday clothes. Can't just keep walking around in armor everywhere. Siege doors. Let me guess, someone who peddles them is right around the corner. Exactly. Odds and ends. Bits and bobs. Oh, that's the dude from the opening. He used to be an adventurer like you, but then he took an arrow to the face and he just became a shopkeep. Exactly. Does he also have a prosthetic arm? Is it going to be a series where they aren't afraid to give people like artificial limbs? It's getting better and better with every episode, I swear. Your very own room. It's so luxurious. Yeah? I mean, for her, who's been living this slave life. Yeah, you got the money. And beyond. And beyond. You fucking better. Yellow carrot, white bulbs. Using, whatchamacallit? Not telepathy. Waku waku. Made some KFC. I could go for some KFC. They are? Indeed. Give her some vegetables and fruit with that meat, though. Balanced diet is important. Some kimchi or something. Yeah? Donadrond. Yeah, healing magic is gonna be useful. Honestly, one of the best kinds of magic you can invest in. And she's already asleep. Yep. But unbeknownst to them, in a cave in a forest, something was happening. A hobgoblin was rising. Probably a hobgoblin, that's just my assumption. No, it's not. Yeah, you gotta rank up, and then you're gonna get better quests. That's exciting, isn't it? They're being led by a leader. Kill them all. Okay, so that's a hobgoblin. So the thing that was growing in the cave was something even bigger, I'm assuming, even stronger. An orc? No, it's a spellsword lolly. Yeah, you gotta take care of what kinds of magic you use. Like perhaps don't fight with electricity when fighting in a water. Double cast. She can cast one spell and he can cast another. I love the music. That's just a slash. Okay, she's leveling up. Easy. Yeah. Are you gonna join the team, perhaps? Yeah, it come useful. Fran. Probably, but she doesn't exactly need them. Yeah. Okay, Monster Stampede, a classic. Goblin King, so that what was growing in the cave. Thankfully, we have Fran with us. Calling for reinforcements. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a chance to level up a little. Okay, that's like the first bit of damage she ever took. That was a slash, not a thrust. That's already double. Is stamina gonna be an issue? Yeah. You gotta know where to retreat. When to retreat. Someone with a save? Shishou. I thought maybe some high level adventurer is gonna appear and help. Yeah. Why the resolve? Why the stubbornness? Okay, not gonna run away. Gotcha. Understandable. For a moment there, I thought that her resolve is something like I need to protect the city, I need to protect the villagers, I can't let the goblins reach the town, something along those lines. But no, it's just her own resolve of never again running away. Cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Honestly, I really wasn't expecting much from this series, but with every episode, it keeps proving me wrong. It keeps showing me that it's one of the better isekais I've seen recently in recent seasons. At least so far. Everything still has time to go tits up until the end of the season, but so far, seal of approval. The terrifying Goblin Stampede. Okay, so right in the next episode, we're already gonna get the Stampede. After credits? No, just credits. Yeah, there's not gonna be anything after that. Or is there? No. Okay. So, now, how about we go through it again? Shall we? Yeah, I need some armor, some weird potions. I really do like this world. I said it in a previous episode, I think I even mentioned it in the first one, but I like how unique it is. Like, those things hanging here aren't just a rat and a guinea pig, those are some weird things. This dude isn't wearing a helmet and holding a spear, he's wearing some weird ornamental, or maybe, I don't know, British Queen's Guards, whatever they're called. I forgot the name. With those tall, feathery uh, hats, right? this same kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily serve any purpose. It's ornamental. It may be a status of symbol. Maybe he is like a master mage or something, and that gives him uh, the right to wear a big hat, and something along those lines. I really, really do like that. Garrus, arcane blacksmith, bunch of skills and titles. Smithing King, Wandering Blacksmith, Honorary Royal Blacksmith of Kranzel. Uh, bunch of arseholes who wanna resell my gear. Yeah, they probably want to buy it as it for themselves and then sell it for profit. Or then happy to sell to a girl of your prowess. I only sell my gear to adventurers I approve of, and you get my approval. As I said, that can be a sustainable business model. What if there's not gonna be anybody who has your approval for like a month? Unless you are actually selling your gear for prices where if you sell a full set of adventurer gear, you're set for a year or something along those lines, then it's not exactly sustainable. Most blacksmiths, like in fantasy, usually do sell regular, boring, cheap armor and weapons and whatnot, but then they have the good shit in the back room. And if they really like it, they're gonna make you something special, something to order, right? Like, oh yes, finally, I'm tired of making those iron swords and whatnot. Thank you for bringing me the dragon fang. I can finally show what I'm worth, right? That kind of deal. This dude is just like, yeah, no, I'm not selling to anybody but those who I approve of. Interesting. Flammable dress armor. Okay, and it has a bunch of resistances to poison, to fire, and to stun, I think I also saw. Let's check it out real quick. Flammable dress armor. Mithril earband for cat ears. Resistance against fire shock, paralysis. Paralyzing cat gloves. Venom wyvern boots. Okay, full set of gear. Found him floating over a dead guy in a dungeon. Interesting. That would mean he's traversing the dungeons. Searching for materials? Probably. You're tougher and you look cute to boot. Indeed. First set of armor acquired. OP, OP, OP. And yeah, God Gaze or whatever it's called. I've got special eyes. My brand! Sorry, whenever I see or hear someone say special eyes, I can't think of anything else but my brand. And his name is Garrus. I mean, was the author a fan of Mass Effect? Past identity protection, yeah. Using telepathy. Mana conductivity. Okay, so essentially, you can have. It probably looks. Yeah, it probably looks kind of sort of like enchantability in Minecraft. I don't even know if it's still a mechanic. But I remember that it used to be a mechanic where an iron sword, diamond sword, no, iron sword would have lots of damage and lots of durability, but wouldn't be uh, easy to enchant. And then you would have a golden sword that would have lower durability, lower damage, but it would take enchantments much better. I'm thinking it might be the same mechanic, where you can have a sword made of, I don't know, orichalcum, let's say, something that has low mana conductivity, but is very hard, sharpens very well, holds sharpness, and you get a ton of damage from that, but that's all you get. So it's perfect for like a barbarian or a knight or a warrior who doesn't necessarily invest in magic, who just swings really hard. And then you have mithril and some other magical materials that maybe don't hold sharpness all that well, maybe are a little bit more brittle, but they conduct mana really well. So if you give it to a mage, they're gonna be able to increase its damage output like tenfold. I like it. I like this mechanic because it gives us a lot of potential for spell swords. And I'm a sucker for spell swords. Yeah, mana conductivity, 200% mana efficiency, so twice the mana you input into the sword gets output as damage. Also, gamification is everywhere. Like rating A, 200% mana efficiency, looking at stats, looking at identify things. It's one thing where it's the main character that has it, but apparently everybody does, or at least this blacksmith dude does have it to some degree. I wonder how much those windows that pop up are just for the viewer's reference, so that the viewer can just take a look at it and know what's up, and how much they are an actual in-world thing that appears somewhere in the corner of their field of vision. 1,000 mana units, no problem. I love this scene. The next one. Yeah. Oh, Fran, teacher. It's cool. It's great. I love it. Who forged you? No clue. Perhaps some godsmith, or perhaps he just appeared in the world out of nowhere. I'm guessing that's going to be one of the mysteries of this show that we're going to have to solve. Probably not in the show proper, but perhaps in the light novel or in the manga or whatever is the basis for the show. It's going to be a plot point at some point or another. Godsmith. Blacksmiths of legendary prowess that can craft divine swords. The sword just bending like that looks super weird. Especially since it's animated on once. So also gives a lot of like smoothness feel to it and betrays the fact that it's CG. Or uncovers the fact. Fire magic, divine flame. Doesn't Shishou have some skill of like absorbing abilities? I wonder if he's gonna be able to absorb other swords. If that's a mechanic that can perhaps be unlocked, and he's gonna be going around absorbing the divine weapons. That would be interesting. Mana conductivity SS. Of course, we gotta have the S rank, we gotta have the double S, and there's probably triple S somewhere as well. This is an interesting bit of environmental storytelling thing, where Fran can just swing Shishou like it's nothing, and then she picks up the hammer and oh, heavy. Right? It really, without telling us explicitly that there is some magic at work here that allows her to swing Shishou like that, we're being shown that something like that is happening. Also, scabbard. I like it. I like how we are using the correct term. Scabbard and a sheath. A sheath is soft, a scabbard is hard. That's the difference. Bunch of materials. And yeah, there's gonna be a new armor in a month. Another thing I really do like, I mean, I don't know if that's gonna be a thing, but everything points towards that actually being a thing. Visual upgrades and gear upgrades. Very often in manga, light novels, anime, even games, a lot of Eastern MMOs, for example, I know Black Desert used to have this problem. I don't know if it does anymore. But a lot of like isekai stories, let's just focus on that, have the main character find some gear, find some armor, and just use it till the end of their days and never change out of it. I don't like it. I don't like it that there are never any upgrades. Maybe some like enchantment magic, something that isn't seen. I know that it might be for, I don't know, marketing purposes. Once you make stickers with the main character wearing green armor, and then the character starts wearing purple armor, then the stickers won't be selling, that kind of deal. Maybe, probably. All I know is that I'm not a fan of it because realistically, and I know, right, talking about realism in an anime about a talking sword, but realistically, you would upgrade your armor every now and then, especially in a world where all those gamified systems exist. You can't be using level 3 armor when you're level 57. Unless it's Path of Exile and you have the correct slots on the level 3 armor, then you keep using it until the end of the league. But that's Path of Exile we're talking about. So I'm glad that we already are hinting at a future upgrade to the armor that is gonna be waiting for her in the future. And I hope that's not gonna be the last one that she's gonna have. I hope that she's gonna be changing out of the armor and swapping out bits and bobs of it fairly often. Like, I'm not expecting her to do that twice a volume of the light novel, but at least like once every volume, small upgrade, like, I don't know, a better earband or a different armor dress or some different boots or, stuff like that. Clothes or underwear. Yeah, I mean, that's a necessity. This, well, you might be a little too young for. Yeah, probably. I didn't catch a good look at it, but probably a bit too young. We got some casual wear, some nightwear, probably. That's what she was wearing at the inn. Also interesting that every single building here is raised off the ground. You usually see that at like floodplains where there is a risk of flooding. People are raising up their homes and building them on platforms like that. Uh, my childhood house was built on like concrete pillars, like a meter and a half, or something thereabouts. No, I think it was about a meter in the air. Uh, I don't know why, because it was at like a bit of a high ground, so there was no river in the area, but it was built like that. But yeah, you would usually see that in areas prone to flooding, and this is at the top of a mountain. I don't know, but it's cool. I like it. Or rather, I don't mind it. It's a style. It's just an architecture of the city. So I'm just gonna shut up about it. Yeah, gonna need some utensils, cooking stuff. Uh, Identify time. Oh, for a moment I thought he's casting like identify time. That's the name of a skill that he just wants to check how old is he. But no, time to cast the identify spell. Merchant with skills in Warhammer Arts, Warhammer Mastery, Ice Resistant, Giant Killer, Giant Slayer. Yeah, not just any random shopkeep. He used to be an adventurer, but then took an arrow to the face. Also, prosthetic. Prosthetics, prosthetics, prosthetics. Fucking love fantasy prosthetics. And I really mourn the fact that more series don't use them. That they would rather opt for regrow magic or mostly just regrow magic by through whatever means be it increasing like regeneration of the body or creating a magical limb that becomes real or reattaching the limb or whatever. Can't we have some nice prosthetics, please? I talked about it a little during the Novice Alchemist, where they were reattaching someone's limbs. Now that actually made sense because they brought the limb with them, but usually, or rather, in a situation where that limb wouldn't be there, it would be nice to see like an alchemical prosthetic. So I do enjoy the fact that this dude does have a prosthetics. Prosthetic. Blah. Brand new room. Look at my room. My room is amazing. Yeah, she can sleep in any bed. She can eat whatever she wants. This is... I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but this seems like a bit of a foreshadowing that I'm gonna take care of you until you evolve and can fight all on your own. That there's a time limit on that. I'm not sure what to think of that. It can be just a throwaway line that has no meaning, or it can be something that causes Fran to go through some sort of a crisis. For example, right? Oh, I'm ready to evolve. I would like to evolve. That was my goal. That was the goal of my parents, and I'm about to achieve that. But if I evolve right now, then Shishou will leave me. So I'm not going to evolve. I wonder if it's gonna bring us into a situation like that. Probably not during the course of this anime season, but perhaps in the light novels. Meat. A unique blend of 7 herbs and spices, or 17, or however many there are in KFC. You could probably make curry with spices. I mean, yeah, curry is just a bunch of spices. What is it, like cur curcuma, curcum. I don't know what the name for it is in English, but yeah, the yellow dust and some mostly root spices. I think like allspice, things like that. I don't know. I don't know what comes into the ingredients of curry, but it's just a bunch of regular herbs. Time to prep. And yeah, talking about evolution, thankfully they did decide to go for healing. Healing is genuinely the most useful magic you can learn. If you ever get isekai'd and you don't know what kind of magic to pick, healing. You can't go wrong with healing. Especially after I've watched Doro Doro, I know that you can't go wrong with healing. You really can't. Bunch of mushrooms, bunch of plants. Kind of boring, but jobs like that are also needed. Or rather, adventurers are also needed for jobs like these, especially low-ranking adventurers. Guys in trouble. It's another mage that has a funny hat and a staff with a big ornate ending at the top. I have a feeling that might be the usual attire of mages. I like I like their armor. The knight, most of all, it's unique. Very unique shape of a shield. You don't really see those in like real life. But yeah, everything is unique about this world. I like it. I really do. We're burning the forest, of course. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to what kinds of magic you use and where. Also, that's some brutal pummeling by those rocks. Jesus. I wonder if their blood is supposed to be black or is it censorship? Yeah, the archer dude just got thrown off. Just 2 frames he was there, 2 frames he wasn't. Rock magic is useful. double slash, leveling up, healing magic. Yeah, level ups are gonna be useful because Shishou is strong and bestows part of that strength onto Fran, who is weak. But what if both Shishou and Fran are strong? Right? That's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Goblin Stampede, so a classic. Monsters are panicking and or running around for whatever reason, and we need to stop them because they will attack the city. Fighting more, but stamina is still an issue. Fran can go against some monsters and can deal with them, but she's a sprinter, not a marathon runner. And if there's too many enemies around, yeah, she's gonna get hurt. She's gonna get shot with an arrow, she's gonna get sliced, and that's gonna be an issue. Thankfully, Shishou is here and can cast magic independently of her and protect her through that. But that doesn't change the fact that there are limitations on her body. It's just how it is. But she doesn't want to run. She has resolve. She wants to face the world head on. And you gotta appreciate that. The terrifying Goblin Stampede. I was a sword when I reincarnated as a sword project. Sentai Holdings. This story is a work of fiction. No shit. No shit it is. Ah. Okay, that was a cool episode. Served kinda as a. I would still categorize it as a part of a prologue. In the first episode, the first part of the prologue, we are introduced to Shishou and to Fran. That's essentially all that happened in the first episode. In the second episode, we're entering the world of adventurers, right? We got the rank assigned, we got the adventurer card, we're learning a little more about the world. Episode 3 is where Fran can shine. No, wait. Episode 4 is when she will be able to shine. Episode 3 is a prelude to what's going to happen, right? Something big and bad is coming, and in episode 3 we tell you what exactly is it. And that's going to be the Goblin Stampede. We also get a little bit of a taste of that, right? With that bunch of goblins. That shows us that Fran isn't invincible. Despite having Shishou, she's still a mortal, fragile little girl who can get shot with an arrow, who can get hit with a stone, and sure, the armor will protect her, but it's not going to protect her from everything. She might not receive as much damage as she otherwise would have, but it's still going to hurt. And if she's having a little bit of issues with a group of goblins like that, well, there's a stampede coming. That's gonna be even tougher on her. We're raising the stakes a little. Because so far, at every single moment, at every single turn, it was hammered into the viewer essentially that they are overpowered, right? Shishou is extremely overpowered. Fran has this super cool overpowered gear that's the best she can get at her level, essentially, taken from a legendary blacksmith. She can dispatch the goons at the guild without much trouble. She can fight off a group of goblins without any issue. She can burn down the forest if she wanted to. She can heal a group of random adventurers, right? She can do all those things. She's extremely, extremely strong. But not exactly. A little bit of a seed of doubt has been sown that, hey, if an arrow can reach her, what if there's 100 arrows flying at once? Because that's what a goblin stampede is. It's not just a couple dozen of goblins, it's an army of hobgoblins marching into the city. So there are actual stakes here. I like it. What else? And yeah, and from the upcoming episode onwards is, I think, where the adventure proper, quote unquote, is going to start. Right? There's probably going to be a big party of adventurers moving out to deal with the stampede. Fran will be one of them, and she will show off what she can do, and that's going to raise her rank. And now she's gonna start getting quests to dispatch of some monsters or to protect some caravan or things like that. And that's where we're gonna actually enter the good and proper story of maybe traveling to somewhere, meeting some people, fighting some unique monsters, getting some unique materials that can be utilized to improve her armor, or that Shishou can, I don't know, eat to get their properties or things like that. So yeah, the first 3 episodes are still very much introductory to the world, to the characters, and very much a setup of the playing field that we're gonna be in for the remainder of the season. Still, this anime keeps surprising me. I said it multiple times during this episode, but the goriness of the fight with the goblins, the architecture is unique, the attire of people, the armors, the weapons, all of that stuff is very much unique. It, for a long time, I haven't felt a breath of air this fresh from an isekai. Actually, I can't tell when I felt it last. I think Saihat no Paladin was fairly fresh as far as isekais go, but it's still kind of hard for me to call it an isekai because it's like somewhere on the sidelines. But besides that, not even Goblin Slayer, not even Shield Hero have this amount of like uniqueness to the world. Shield Hero has the thing going for it where it's like multiple dimensions and multiple parallel universes and whatnot, so that's cool. But as far as the design of the world itself goes, pretty much every isekai, every fantasy story, every fantasy anime goes for just the same, usually for the most part. This one is trying to do something a little bit different, and I appreciate that. Also, one more thing that I appreciate is that so far the only things that were CG were the sword and a couple of doors. The goblins were all drawn. There wasn't any CG on them. There wasn't any CG, from what I could tell, on the projectiles that Fran was throwing. So you can see that there is a certain level of care and budget that has been put into this show, for sure. It stands with it stands in a fairly stark contrast with the uh fuck the Alchemist, the Novice Alchemist, which is on the cheaper side. It does have a few scenes that are animated in a very cool way, but usually the art is kind of on the lower end, so to speak. And the visuals between those two shows are fairly similar ultimately, but there is that added layer of time that could be used in this show in Sword Isekai. Yeah, you can immediately tell that it's not a show that's just being done by the numbers because someone ordered a 12 episode anime to promote the light novel. So just, I don't know, make something, whatever. Whoever doesn't know this show, we don't care about them. Whoever cares about this show, or rather, whoever doesn't know the light novel, whatever, if even 5% of them start reading, that's cool. Fans of light novel are gonna buy it up no matter what because they're starved for more content, so we don't have to care. No, you can tell that it's done with care, with money, and with time. Could have done with a little bit more, not gonna lie, in at some points, but still, as far as seasonal isekais are concerned, this one is certainly up there. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I don't think I have anything more to say about this episode, but maybe you do. And if you do have something more to say it in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories? As long as it's not a spoiler, please do let me know in the comments. If you do want to talk spoilers, Discord, it's here, link also in the description. You can join it. There's a channel for Tensei Shitara. In there, you can join that channel, use spoiler tags, and talk spoilers with fellow fans of the source material. What else? Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Tensei Shitara and Deshita, but also Alchemy, Novice Alchemist, as I mentioned, also Madoka Magica, Symphogear Axis, and Gundam Witch from Mercury. Those are other shows I'm reacting to, and also streams. I streamed Counterside today, so if you wanna catch more of those, click the bell, subscribe, all that jazz. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon Throne, links in the description below. On Patreon for $10 a month, you can get early access to non-seasonal shows like Madoka Magica, like Symphogear, and for just $1, you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits, which is something, a token of appreciation. On Throne, you can pitch in directly towards my purchase of a better camera, better lighting, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, it's completely free. Share my content, spread the word. It really does help a lot if viewers bring more viewers to the channel. Organic growth is the best kind of growth. And with that, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be one of those people if only you so desire.